What up, YouTube Digital? This is a response to something that Lambdog said to me in one of my videos in the comments about microeconomics, and he's not really a student of it. Well, I'm not either. And my dad. One of the only things my dad gave to me was he's a very good con artist. I got a lot of that. And the biggest thing about con artists is the ability they have to read people. If I meet someone and everything else, I'm reading them, trying to figure out who they are, how they tick. What can get them excited, what can piss them off. And it comes in real big. Today I had an issue that literally a huge fucking provider's office, and we're talking huge, is going through contract negotiations on a retro basis. I don't know why, don't fucking care. For whatever reason, the issue got dropped in my lap, and I go and call, and it turns into a big fucking shitstorm. And, I had to fucking wiggle my way around shit and everything else, and today I called back, and they're all cool with me. And they're happy with me and everything else. So, it's... I'm waiting for someone to come over. But anywho, that's just one of the things. The other thing is like trolling. Good trolls. The good ones. Not the ones that just say, you're fat. The good ones. Like Bubba. Shit like that. He's got that type of, gene that he can read people. He knows what gets under their skin. Same fucking bullshit. You can use it for good. You can use it for evil. I prefer to use it for everything. Now, on the way back from bankruptcy, it was overplaying in my head everything that everybody said about me filing bankruptcy. You're never going to get a house. You're never going to get a car. You're never going to do this. Never going to do this. It was really kind of fucking with me on the way back. And finally I got to a point where I said, what the fuck am I doing? I don't do this shit. This is for regular people. Ones that can't figure it out. So, I sat there and, and said, you know what, I need to come up with a plan. So I came up with a plan. What am I going to do? How am I going to attack this? Well, shit, I hadn't even made, this was a 90-mile drive, and I got home, or I got into the town we lived in, and we went to the Chevy dealer, because it was on the way home, and stopped and bought a car. Okay, check mark. Okay, that one done. Next was real estate. And, I dove in every aspect of it to try to figure out what the fuck is going on. How the fuck are people making money? What the fuck? How can I get into it? How can I make money? Is long-term still better than short-term? What is going on? I knew a few guys that were in it. And then on top of it, I applied for loans to try to figure out, where's my standing? What's the deal? And, it turns out banks were the same as they always been. They did not want to do more than 80%. They were not going to touch me for 10 years. They, regular mortgage, through regular mortgage things, not government backed, but regular standard mortgage, was about a 5-year on average. So, okay. But then the government products, the Fannie Freddies, HUDs, VAs and stuff, was at a 2-year. I said, okay, so now, and this is how I approach everything. Every fucking thing. Like right now, I'm looking at buying a Harley. I can't even tell you the hours of fucking shit that goes into buying a fucking Harley. Alright? I cannot just go out and if I buy something, I have to get it at the best. Otherwise, I don't want it. You know, like this fucking thing right here. This is part of an air compressor set. The air compressor sucked. It probably blew up, and they took this to the pawn shop and put it in the pawn shop. Well, that's fine. This is actually not that bad. You know, and you know, they wanted, I don't know, 30 or 40 bucks for it. I told them, look, I'll give you 10 bucks. And I walked home with it. I got a brand new 250 amp, you know, battery charger on wheels. The top of, you know, the best Schumacher before they go to the mechanic one. And I got it for 30 bucks. It's been used maybe twice. That's how I roll on everything. You know, it's a $200 set of brand new speakers. I didn't pay no 200 bucks. But I'll sell them for 200 bucks. But that's everything. You know, I don't pay retail unless I absolutely have to. And I try to find a way out of every fucking roadblock. Because even if I got that $12,000 tax bill right here in this drawer. And, you know, I should be worried about it. Do you see me flying to France? No. Because I got a fucking brain. I'm not going to disown America for a $12,000 bill when there's this thing called offer to compromise. But anywho, shows you how smart some fucking dumb shits are. There was way too many things going on. I needed to figure this out on a fucking scam level. That's a whole other level. You know, how is this going to work for me and me making money? Now, where I fucked up, and I suggest everyone who's buying a house, first off, you control your guy, your inspector. I was technically in control of mine. Kind of not. Long story. The other thing is hire a regular general contractor or someone who really knows the fuck they're talking about in building. Have them go through it too. That's where I fucked up. It's 100, you know, it's 100 to 200 to 300, 400, 500, 600, you know, investment. Spend a couple bucks. Now, beforehand, everything else that I did, you know, I even bought the Carlton Sheets deal, which was actually, there's a lot of really cool information in there, even though people don't know how to use it, so they just call them an asshole. There's actually really good information, even if you're just buying one house. A lot of good information, like how to get 120% financing. A lot of people don't realize how the fuck that works. Well, that's easy. It's just playing around with numbers. If someone's selling their house for 150, but at the time of sale, you can show that it's appraised. You can get it appraised for 200. You're buying a $150,000 house for $200,000 house for $150,000. So that means you're instantly, the day you sign and own it, you have 50 grand in equity. Well, now you can borrow more than on top of it. So your second or whatever, usually get them to open up a little bit more. So that's how they do that. But you can't do that on a federal loan, on a government loan, a VA, a HUD, and stuff like that. You're not supposed to have any cash back. But that didn't stop me. And my loan lady, and this is how I know she's crooked as fuck. I should have realized, I had way too much shit going on at the time. 24 hours a week of overtime. My daughter was months old. The day we signed escrow, not even 10 minutes after we walked in the door that day, I got served a notice to quit, meaning to move out where I was living, because the owner's daughter wanted to live there. Just shit was piling up. So the more shit was piling up, the more I wasn't paying attention. That's where I got fucked. But she told me that there's no way you can get money back, because the loan, even though they write it and everything else, it has to be approved by them, by Fannie. So they got to approve it. So what I did is I said, okay, let me think about this. I came back the next day and said, okay, I got this. This is the offer we're going to give them. The person selling a house, I think it was 158. And I said, okay, we'll give them 158. And she goes, well, you're not even going to try a lower offer? And I said, no. 158. But they must repair anything the inspector says it needs to be done. Not cosmetically shit or anything else. And the only other thing that I want them to do is, because for this to be the perfect property for me, I have to have a 12-foot fence around the property. Now, I know that in the time constraints and everything else, it'll be a little hard to get it done before close of escrow. That's fine. I can start it as soon as I have the property, but I want them to pay for it. And when I explained it to the sellers and stuff, I made it sound like it was going to be on top of the loan. They didn't realize until afterwards it was out of their profits. But and she goes, okay, well, that's fine, but you cannot get any cash back. And I said, that's fine. Because I thought about that. And I said, get a Home Depot gift card. And she sat there and she goes, holy shit, I never thought of that. I said, I know, because you're not me. And this is why I should not be in mortgages. And so my wife, who worked at Home Depot at that time, was able to get their guy to write us up a $5,000 estimate for 12-foot oak fence at, God, it was the huge lot. I think it was more than half acre. Huge lot. And we included it in on it and everything else, and they signed on it and everything. And by the time the escrow was ending, they figured out the day it was ending that money was actually coming out of their pocket. And they were pissed, and I said, well, that's okay, you guys can back out. But another contingency I put in there is if they were to back out or not complete the repairs in time of the end of escrow, that I get 10 grand. That's how I roll. So, yeah. And sure enough, in the escrow office, when I'm signing, hand me over. Actually, they hand me over a check, a escrow check of $5,000 to Home Depot, and it said, in the memo to reserve it, to do a Home Depot gift card. So I went to Home Depot, put it in there, and they looked at it and said, "Holy shit, we've never had one this big. We don't even know if it can work." Sure enough, it worked. Bought an air compressor, bought fucking everything, dude. Everything. It's not about microeconomics and all that other fucking fluffy bullshit. It's about making things work for you. Every day, everything. Work for you. So, I mean, shit, I was buying stuff. I can't get into that. But, yeah. People on here get stuck way too easy in a default mode when there's a road bump in their way. People need to stop that shit. Knock that shit off. If you look at somebody like Donald Trump, Bill Gates, you look at these people that have made it. Look at fucking Steve Jobs. And this is what makes Steve Jobs, the badass that he is. Now, I need to, because for a while, I've been on cruise control dealing with other shit. I need to focus back on doing my own next level shit. But first, I'm gonna buy Harley. Enough on that. Don't let people tell you no. I get in a very bad mood when people tell me no. It's not a good thing. Because either I have to prove them wrong, or I have to knock them out of my way. Either way, it works. Just ask all the supervisors that did not want me to be a supervisor at my current job. I knocked them all out of my way, got a better job, remained hourly when they all got locked down with bullshit salaries, and, oh god, they're hating life. They should have just let me become a supervisor when I wanted to become one. What are you?